Marshmallow Fanboy back with another review, this time of McFarlane Collector's Edition, Elongated Man, the McFarlane Platinum Edition. Now, I saw him in a Walmart, and I couldn't resist picking it up. I generally don't get the Platinums because it's hard to order them on McFarlane Toy Store unless you get a case. So I generally miss a lot of the Platinum figures. To be fair, McFarlane Platinums are not super difficult to find. I guess it depends on the figure. I guess if you're looking for a Shazam or a Supergirl, you're screwed. But for anything, for most anything else, Platinums aren't difficult to come by. And this Platinum is very cool because it was the uniform that I was most familiar with. I acknowledge this uniform, the classic uniform, is very cool, but it was not his uniform when I started reading about him a long time ago. And I can't specifically remember all the things that I read him in. Could be Justice League Europe or Justice League proper. I can't really remember. There was a couple. I can't remember what the Marvel team up DC version was with Superman teaming up with different heroes. But Elongated Man was one of the folks he did team up with there. Of course, the card is the old artwork with the classic stuff and not this uniform. But I couldn't resist it. I get that it's on the Plastic Man body, and there's a little bit of like it's a repaint, but I don't care. I liked Elongated Man and I liked Plastic Man. There's no reason I wasn't gonna like the figure. Admittedly, I've scaled back on McFarlane toys mostly because I can't get a hold of them. If they've been online longer than 15 minutes, there's no point in looking for them. They're mostly gone. So hopefully there'll be some things that go to Amazon and maybe 3-packs and maybe I get some that way. Who knows? But for now, I'm happy with finding Elongated Man in the wild. And he looks great in the package. I'm happy with the package. Of course, it's the classic thing. I keep turning it over and going, I can't wait to see the thing on the back. But it's DC Classic. This could still be DC Classic. This is, it's not a first appearance thing, but the Wonder Woman and some of the other things that have come out that were classic were not first appearance uniforms. So I still think of this as a classic uniform. So it looks great in the package. Let's take it out and see how we feel about it in person. Okay, now that he's out of the package, let's take a closer look at McFarlane Collector's Edition Elongated Man, the Platinum Edition. First, we'll get the card out of the way because, the card is the kind of the old card, but it's still really cool. I like the kind of the inset art off of the main art that kind of tells you he drinks Gingold and then he stretches and he catches bad guys. I don't know what this artwork is over here. The lettering sort of blocks that off. I wish they'd done a better job sort of cropping that. And then, of course, it gives you a little bit of background data on who he is. I put on one stretchy hand, and I also put on one outsplayed hand. So the regular arm is this one. He comes with 2 regular arms, 2 stretchy arms, just like Plastic Man. He's got a little bit of a paint hit on all the gloves where they're black, but there's a little bit of blue in there. Just kind of a blue one. It's more dominant on the glove where he's stretching. You can see the blue throughout the black, which is really nice. It's on the boots as well. It's not on the band or anything, but that's fine. You can see the black here. There's a lot of blue interspersed with the black. The black sort of takes a backseat to the blue. It's got a person catcher hand. Hey, you stay there. It doesn't bend. There's no wires in it. It's just it's static. Like I'm gonna keep saying Plastic Man apparently. He's got another outsplayed hand, and he's got a grabby hand on the regular arm already. And he has a pointer finger for blaming other people. He has sort of the command hand, the hand that says go that way, or give me an Oreo or something. It's like, go that way, give me an Oreo. That was not worth reiterating. and he's got one fist for punching. Elongated punching. It would have been cooler if maybe instead of the long hand or the rope, it was an attachment, and you could take this attachment off and stick one of the other hands on there. Because it'd be cool if he was, he had like a pointer finger on there. He's like doing this really long point. It's him, or something like that. Just gives it a little more character. It comes with the action figure stand, as they all do. You can see the blue and the black here. Just really awesome. It's just a really nice touch. That touch alone, I get that Plastic Man was a Build-A-Figure and didn't cost anything because he came with 4 other figures. But when you put it as a McFarlane Collector's Edition and you beef that price up, it was, I think, $25 a figure for the original Plastic Man. And this one's clocking in at $35 because of the tariffs and things. But it just, that paint that's blue to black makes it feel more premium. Makes it feel more like they did something that was a little bit different. That set it off a little bit. That they, because it could have been just black or light blue, or it could have been one color like the rest of him. But the rest of him just has that really nice separation down the middle, and even things like the limbs reflect that, where this goes on his left side, and that this goes on his right side. It's a really great figure. The likeness I can't argue with. It's not like I have a specific artist in mind for the likeness or anything, but I like it in general. I loved Plastic Man, and Elongated Man is part of, gosh, I can't remember what the one with Brad Meltzer was, where Sue passes, and it becomes a mystery of who killed Sue Dibny, and then, at the end we find out who did it, and it's kind of upsetting, but it was the first thing that, it eventually broke up the Justice League and things. I'm not going to tell you why if you haven't read. I'm going to tell you. It's been, 20 years. It's been a while. But essentially, while Batman is trying to figure out what happened, he figures out that his memory has been erased, and that Sue was assaulted by Dr. Light, and Dr. Light found out all their secret identities, and Batman opposed wiping his mind out, and Zatanna did it anyway. So it drove a wedge. No, that wasn't the wedge that broke up the Justice League. I'm thinking of the death of Max Lord broke up that thing. So it didn't break up. It just broke Batman. Batman sort of turned his back on the League at that point. But I don't think that was a League that had Superman on it. I think that was a League later on that had like Green Arrow and Black Canary and Zatanna and characters like that. And Elongated Man was one of those, was one of the team members. So they went after Dr. Light for a little while. So it didn't result in the breakup of the JLA, just Batman's secession from it. But that was a long time ago. That story. I'm not going to tell you who did it. You should get the, trade paperback. You should read that. It's really, really good. It was Brad Meltzer's first comic book, first array into comics, and it's a doozy. So that is Elongated Man. He was worth getting. He's a lot of fun to have. And in a world where I'm dialing down on McFarlane toys, it is really nice to get this guy. It is really nice to add him to my collection. I'm being more selective now. But seeing him at the Walmart, I took a good look at him, and part of it was, fear of missing out. I was like, well, if I leave him behind, in a day or two, I'm going to be like, I should have got that guy. And I didn't want that. But also, if I don't get him when I see him, I'm probably not going to think about him and not going to get him. So I don't know if you guys are like that. It's kind of an out of sight, out of mind thing. Or maybe some of you are mature enough to have a list. You just kind of go through your list and you just eliminate ones that you have and you add ones that you still need. Who knows? But He's a great addition. I'm glad to have him. And until next time, enjoy your toys.